So last November, Nintendo released a trailer that gave us our first real taste of Splatoon's single-player campaign. But as some of our fans on Twitter pointed out, such as Gaming Lord 15, not everything in that trailer managed to make it into the final game. So I thought it would be fun if we took a closer look at some of the missing content, as well as see what all else changed in the final game. And since this is about the single-player campaign, what better way to start than with Captain Cuttlefish himself, who we can see peeking out from the manhole that leads to Octo Valley. Except this time, the manhole appears to be in a different area, or at least within a different structure, because there's a wall to the left that's missing from the final game, and there's no garbage cans behind him either. In addition, we can see he was originally intended to appear within at least one of the game's story levels too, which doesn't really happen in the final game. Now in several scenes of the trailer, we can see a level or two featuring a bright red background, a background which doesn't actually appear in the final game at all. And on top of that, did you notice the hooded Octarians here? Yeah, they're not in the final game either. They almost look like executioners, so maybe they fire extremely powerful shots of ink. Hell, maybe they're an early version of the sniper. Now of course, most of the levels in the trailer actually are in the final game, but not necessarily in their final form. Take two of those clips with the red background for example, because besides the red background, the rest actually appears to be from Mission 5, Floating Sponge Garden. And this first clip appears to be nearly identical to the final game, besides the red sky and the change of ink color from blue to orange that is. But once a player here reaches the turret ahead, things look a little bit different. The sponges are lower, there's an area off to the right not in the final game, and check out the Zapfish. The platform he's on here looks a little plain compared to the one in the final game, doesn't it? Another example is Mission 18, Spinning Spreaders. Now the level overall actually resembles the final game pretty close, but do you see the spreader right there? It only has one arm, whereas in the final game it has two. Then we have this clip which features one of the propeller platforms of Mission 6. Only this one takes you up to a structure not in the final game, complete with a grate that you can swim through. Now beyond the level differences, it seems the entire game was actually a bit easier originally too. Because in every gameplay scene in the trailer, we can see you actually have 5 lives instead of the 3 in the final game. And finally, do you remember the short clip of an arcade-like shooter? Yeah, it's nowhere to be found in the final game either. So clearly, quite a lot has changed in the 6 months or so since that initial trailer. But we can't help but wonder that missing content really is gone for good, or if it might resurface down the line as a future update. Could that shooting game be a future amiibo unlockable like the other arcade games? And maybe those cloaked enemies could return in future single-player challenges. It would be pretty cool, but it's entirely possible they'll simply remain a relic of what once was. And that about wraps it up for most of the differences we could find. But let us know if you noticed any other differences by posting in the comments below. Thanks for watching, make sure to stay tuned to GameXplain.com for more Splatoon and other things gaming too.